Hey guys, it's Michelle Taylor Willis, and thanks again for tuning in to According. Hey guys, it's Michelle Taylor. It's Michelle Taylor Willis back at you. And you're watching According to Michelle. In the hustle of life, sometimes we forget what's important. Sometimes we need to think like children. Yes, business is important, but it's connection that builds a community. This is the spirit of the city of South Fulton. More lives here. Hey guys, it's Michelle Taylor Willis of the According to Michelle TV show, and I'm super excited because we finally made it through our first season of According to Michelle. Yay, we did it. Thank you so much. Thank you to you, the viewers, because without you, we could not have done this. So thanks. This is our 10th episode, so make sure you get all the way through this episode because we've got a big guest at the end, and he might just give us a little bit of insight into what's going to happen into the election that's coming up in November. All right, but listen, I've got exciting news. My birthday is next Wednesday, September 23rd, and in the spirit of giving, I want to give you a gift. So how does a big 55-inch TV sound? Sound like a good gift? I think so. All right, so you got to play a game in order to get the gift. You know by now I love games, but I really do love giving things away. So in order to qualify, you got to do a couple things. One, I need you to find in one of the first episodes a black and red extension cord. It's going to be buried somewhere in one of those episodes. So you got to go back, find the red and black extension cord. All right, that's the first thing. And then you've got to make sure you follow me on Instagram, because in order to qualify to win, you got to be following me. All right, so here are the 3 rules. 1, follow me at Michelle Taylor Willis on Instagram. Go do that now, right? So that it'll be done and you can qualify. Number 2, when you find the red and black extension cord in the episode, make sure you screenshot it or take a picture of it, post it on your Instagram, tag me in it at Michelle Taylor Willis, and then make sure you hashtag I1A2M. That's IWON2M. All right. Number 3, DM me. Okay, you're gonna DM me at Michelle Taylor Willis with the words "I found it," and I need the episode number and the timestamp, and that's it. And then whoever I find that's done that first, okay, I want the first person that can do all 3 of those things. I'm gonna make sure that my team, courtesy of Gagnant Media, sends you a 55-inch TV, so you get a birthday gift on my birthday. How does that sound? Great? Great. All right, so make sure you get through this episode. Go back and find that red and black extension cord. And again, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Season 2 is gonna be bigger and better than ever. But as always, thanks for watching According to Michelle. Enjoy the show. Hey, do you need a Band-Aid? Because you're really cut.
Yeah, let's try.
Right?
Let's try again next Sunday.
Hey,
yeah.
Do you need some needle and thread? Because it looks like you're ripped. Okay, we're cooking today.
How many times does the average person's heart beat in a day?
1,654.
Okay, so the actual number is 100,000 times a day. This is a public service announcement. If your heart is only beating 1,000 times a day, you should please come see me. Not because you need a doctor, but because you are a medical miracle.
Put the camera on him. Do y'all see this? Do you see? Yeah, that's the face. Wonder Twins activate. Form of good people.
Good people.
Oh. Is that what they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember
the
any.
explosion.
I don't remember the details. I just remember Wonder Twins.
A little older than you.
Well, you are. You're a lot older than me because I'm like millennial-ish. All right.
That you literally are like, boom, and your heart's just like chilling.
You're not right.
You are indeed my favorite person.
Really?
And
Am I really?
Well,
Do you mean that for real?
I have a wife and kids, but
Outside
right
of
after
them.
them.
Even like your mom?
No, my mom's ahead of you too. If you keep asking, there'll be more people ahead. So let's stop right now. But you're one of my favorite people.
So no.
When you get in trouble at home, you don't want to talk to your wife anymore. You start lighting cigars so you can't talk.
No, I just leave. Kind of like rip the mic off and no.
Pretzel.
Yes.
Oh, see that? Yes, that's what I'm
I had to
talking
give you the
about.
hint.
Plant.
Based.
What? Okay, I say guilty.
That's what I would have said too.
He's innocent? That's not what the juror said? Wait, stop, cut back, roll that back. I say innocent. Okay, let's get behind the bar.
Yes, we're trying to make a kumquat mojito.
Kumquat mojito,
Yes,
right?
a
Yeah,
perfect
My
summer.
favorite drink.
Yes.
I love this. When I come in, this is why I love coming to this place, because they see me walking in, and by the time I'm at the bar, I'm getting a kumquat mojito. I'm like, oh, you like me. You really like me. Okay, all right, what we got?
Okay, so the first, pick key lime. You can use regular limes, but I prefer key lime because it tastes a little bit more creamier.
Got you.
And
They're
it's
so
less
tiny.
Yes, isn't that cute?
They're like cute little baby limes.
Yes, and then we put like kumquat. It's like a baby orange.
Now, can I get these kumquats at Publix, or would people have to go somewhere?
Maybe you might need to go to farmer's market
Okay.
or yeah. So what is it? The Beef Highway has it, and Mercado Fresca is a Mexican supermarket. They have it.
Oh, yeah, Mexican soup. Okay, got it.
And then this is a model.
Got it,
Yeah, so press down a little bit to release the juice.
Got you.
Um,
And that's releasing some of the oils, too, in the skin, right?
Yes. And then in the shaker, I add the mint, mint, and mint.
That's an inside joke, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Don't worry about
Mint.
it, sweetheart. Don't
Mint.
worry about it.
So I add probably like 5, 6 leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, and then let's see, and then these you can muddle, but I do just you can do spoon, and then just tap a little bit, and then release nice mint
Some
oil.
of the oils.
Not
You want
yeah.
to show this in there? There you go.
Yes, nice mint oil. Because if you muddle too much, then it tastes like toothpaste. You don't want that.
We don't want that.
Right. So just lightly muddle.
Okay.
And then the first. And most importantly, rum. 1.5. And orange liqueur. This is infused with the kumquat.
Got it.
I sous vide them, but you can do simply just throw kumquats in and then release it for overnight. So you can do
Got it.
that.
So just cut them and put them in orange liquor? And
Yeah.
just okay.
Like this, I use Brobo, but you can do it with the Combier, Control, whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, and then half.
So half an ounce and then
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is a lime cordial. Oh, this is like the mix between lime juice, lime oil, and sugar.
Gotcha.
So all in one. So I
That's
use.
got a little sweet to it.
There you go. And then if you think it's like didn't need a little bit more zing, then you can add extra lime juice.
Just a
Or
little
this,
lime
yeah,
juice.
lime juice.
For those limers out there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then for ice, first we have to let me put it in stock.
These are some serious. This looks like a medical facility back
Oh,
there. All
it is.
these-
Yes, it's a medical grade tongue. And then
Lots of ice in the
lots of
shake.
ice is important because you don't want to water down your cocktail. Put more ice, it's less watered down.
Got
It
you. 'Cause
chills.
this is going to really get this cold.
Yep.
So it won't be such a shock when it hits this. Got it.
Okay, so then the whole shaker.
Shake.
I like to hold, thumb, hold it on the top.
Okay.
And index, in the middle. Basically, that's the shape that and then always start it from the chest, around the chest height, and then trying to twirl. And yeah, here, try that.
Oh, sorry, I was doing a little dance.
Yes. Just trying to throw like this. Yes. Yes.
Shake,
Shake, shake, shake. Yeah.
No, it's an eye.
Yeah. So the.
I feel like when you do it, you're like this.
I like do it till like the outside of shaker is nicely flossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool,
There
right?
really is a method to this madness.
And then I do double strain because there's a mint leaf in it.
Gotcha.
And you don't want that in your drink. So. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
And then Topo Chico. Where did I put the Topo Chico?
Oh, Topo Chico. Here, got it.
So you might find. Thank you so much. And so add some sparkling water on top. And more mint. Tap it to make sure like the wrist.
So that's
Nice
really
and
fair.
wet.
So you don't have to do a lot of manipulation. Just a little bit will release what you need it to, right?
Yeah.
Gentle.
Gentle.
We don't have to be so hard with it. Do you hear that, fellas? Just gentle. Don't have to
Gentle.
destroy the leaves. Just tap the leaves.
Yes.
You're welcome.
And then like if you want to cleanse it up a little bit, you can add some powdered sugar on top.
Powdered sugar on top.
So the nice creates a nice like snowy.
Gosh, you figured out
Yeah.
everything. All right, now we've got to taste it, right?
Yes.
I got to make sure you are who you say you
There's
are.
like a straw.
Look at
You
this
could-
thing. Look at this. This is a Mika's cocktail creation at the English Barber. This is the only place you're going to find her, guys. Right here at this place. And let me tell you how this baby tastes. Make sure my hair is so good because... Oh my gosh. I definitely want to introduce to you my friend, the cardiologist who owns Prevent Medical Clinic. And he'll take care of your heart, but he'll also take care of everything else, especially during this time of COVID. Dr. Dave, the good Dr. Dave.
Hey, hey.
So this is where, if we were on radio, I would be like, yeah.
And the sound comes in.
And the sound comes in,
Yeah.
and the crowd goes, wow.
Yeah.
How are you?
The wave.
I know we do the wave.
Although you can't hear the wave on the radio.
No,
but-
but
I'm glad to
We
be
can-
in
we
the
can
all
put- we can
women's place, you know, holding the flag down for the men, the Y chromosome, you know,
yeah, because
comporting ourselves.
this is as close as,
Just so.
as you would get, you know, because you guys aren't. Seriously, like,
wow,
I'm
that,
like,
I don't.
Jennifer,
Is that
am I
an
allowed-
insult?
Can I interview guys in here? And she's like, one at a time. That's
Wow.
it, Michelle. That's all I can.
Listen, I do not blame her. keep them at bay. Watch them very closely because you don't know who you can trust.
There you go.
There you go.
You should know because you have a little boy, don't you?
I don't. 2 girls.
You have 2 girls. Why don't
The
think you have a
joys
boy?
of my life. 12, just Sunday, and 6 years old.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
there.
no
12
boys.
and 6.
Well, there's a boy, but he's a dog. He's a year and a half.
I've seen those
And
pictures.
he's
of that
very
guy.
much a boy.
So you do have a boy.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
his name?
Asher. We call him Ash.
Asher.
Asher. Yeah.
And what kind of dog is it? Is it a big
He's a golden
dog?
doodle.
A golden.
Yeah, he's a
Is that-
big boy. He's 73 pounds now,
That's golden retriever and labradoodle.
and standard poodle. So he's a first cross, no back cross, golden retriever, English golden retriever, and standard poodle.
So do they like breed them like that?
Breed him like that on purpose.
So he must have cost a fortune.
No, this was a gift.
Aww.
Yeah, from God.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You found him. Did you find him on the side of the road?
No, we did not find him. We searched high and low for this particular one. This was exactly what the 6-year-old wanted, and we set some bars, and she, hit him, and there you go.
Wow. So you make your kids work for it.
Absolutely, I think that's imperative. I had to work for it. I came from, almost nothing, lower middle class, south side of Chicago. So I'm the youngest. I have 2 older sisters.
Okay.
My second oldest sister is the baby. I am the youngest. She is the baby of the family. There's no question about it.
Okay,
I know
so
it
how
throws
does that
everybody
happen?
off.
'Cause
But she's the spoilest.
So you're not spoiled?
Not at all.
Not
Let me
at
tell
all.
you what. Let me tell you that here's the classic.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Kind of like a joke isn't funny if someone goes, oh, that's funny. The joke's not funny. So when someone says, no, I'm not spoiled. I'm not the baby. Clearly, not only are they the most spoiled, but they are, in fact, the baby.
Well, nobody did that first.
You said,
Did I do that?
I'm not spoiled.
Did I do this? Did I laugh like Jim Carrey? That's she said, when they say yeah. I'm like, whoa. I mean, that's like Wild Hunnets, It's like
Hey, listen, you've got your thing, I've got mine.
Yes, you do. Your thing is great too. Thank
That's
you
what
for
they
having
tell
me
me.
here.
You're more than
in
welcome.
all
Thanks for
honesty.
coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you was 2 older sisters,
2 older sisters. Yeah. So
and you, not the baby.
and so the scenario almost always would turn out whichever one of the oldest sisters was beating me up, the other one would be taking up for me. Stop hitting him. And then 15 minutes later, they'd switch roles. Stop hitting him. You know, it's like, so I'm always getting hit by somebody, you know, so.
What would you be doing to your sisters? for
What
them
you
to
normally,
wanna
what you do to
beat-
sisters? Kick them, hit them, fart, you know, everything.
Just terrorize them.
Yeah, normal stuff. I was really.
I heard you were bad
I
until
was.
about the 5th grade.
Was bad.
Bad.
Until 5th grade. So she never told me this, but I do believe that my mother was worried about me, you know, sort of academically. And, you know, quite honestly, when I reflect back on it, and this is actually serious, it's going to sound silly, but the summer of my 5th grade year, going into 6th grade, you know, South Side of Chicago, you know, I grew up on sort of the middle class neighborhood, but we were sort of on the lower end of that middle class neighborhood. And I was playing with, you know, one of my middle class friends, you know, and we're playing with the water hose, a bunch of guys, right? And the name of the game always with the water hose is just try to squirt people in their face, and whoever can get the water hose back, you win, right? It's a simple game, but it's a lot of fun. Well, I'm running full steam toward the guy. No, I wasn't. I'm running full steam toward the side of the house, a brick wall.
What?
Smack. And I literally, forget which side it's on. There, you can see the little stitches. Literally, in my 5th grade head, popped a hole in the skull. I had to go get stitches.
Are you serious?
There's a little defect still in there. And whatever happened, I didn't pass out or whatever. They were like, oh my God, you know, mom came out and I had
Blood
to go to the
probably
ER. Oh, it was blood
everywhere.
everywhere, yeah. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I had a little pain in my head, but I was like, what's the deal? I'm glad there was no cell phones back then.
Right.
And after that, 6th grade, I don't know what it was. I started getting A's and boom, boom, boom. I'm like, this is great.
You got the sense knocked into you.
Yes, literally
Most people
rammed
get
the
sense
sense
knocked
into
out of
yes.
them. You got the sense knocked into
It
you.
wasn't in there to begin with, and so, but it's a really serious thing. And what I believe is that because many people still, because although the numbers seem like they're a lot, it's not a lot for 300 million people, 330 million people in America to have enough of an effect to have somebody close enough to them so that many people still think that it is a joke.
Disconnected. Right, exactly.
And you know, there's still this tincture of you know, it's not going to happen to me. But if I can't say anything else, this is not about you. In so many other cases, I disagree when people say this, but this right here is not about you, because about 40%, maybe more, of the people who are passing the virus along have no idea they have the virus. Here's the problem. What ends up happening is that person passes it to somebody else, and that somebody else may not be able to handle it like the person who gave it to him, who has no symptoms whatsoever. Your immune system's like, come on, kick it, let's go, right? And you're passing it along, and that person will die. Now let's think about this. It sounds harsh, but in order for somebody to die from the novel coronavirus, from COVID-19, they had to have gotten it from somebody else. That person officially killed that next person. If you're not thinking about it like that, then you're off the mark.
Wow.
And if you're not thinking about approaching this as though you were infected, just let me function as though I'm infected, because there's no solid way for me to know. We can only now start to trust the tests, whether I'm negative or positive. We certainly can't just sort of start assuming things like, oh, kids don't get COVID-19. Okay, wrong. Right? We said that 3 months ago. And we said, oh, yeah, no, kids are going to be fine. Kids don't carry it for as long. And kids don't. And now we're saying, boy, we got 500 kids in one campus that developed it. You know, one, middle school opened up and, 19 kids. And now we're hearing that kids can keep it in their nasopharyngeal area for weeks and weeks, not 14 days, weeks, just carrying this stuff along. Why?
How do we know that?
Exactly. We know it now. What a great question. We know it now because we're testing now. What we were saying before is that kids don't get it. And my question was always, sorry, how do you know when I just got tested? I don't know that many people who've been tested and they're adults. Right. How many kids have you tested? If you don't test, you don't know. Right? And so the kids that are, oh yeah, we are testing some people. There were pockets that were testing kids. I have a colleague in Chicago, a pediatrician, who said, we're testing kids. I was like, great, but you're like the only one. And once we start testing the kids, we stop saying the kids don't get COVID-19. Right. Because it's all over the place. And now we're understanding, not only do they get it, but they just hold on to it. Right. And they just kick back with it and pass it to grandma. Right. Uncle.
So how do we, and I know you don't have the answer to this question, but how do we make people care about people they just don't care about?
Yeah. I don't think that enough people are making that jump, first of all. It is very much, I'm okay, and if I do get it, whatever, I have to die of something. So that mentality has been around for a very long time. That's not just in our generation. That's been in generations past. There was a publication in the 50s that was called the health belief model, which essentially said that they were really trying to understand why people don't do the generally healthful things that are recommended. In that time, tuberculosis was a big thing, and we're trying to sort of get a hold on it. And why don't people get screened? Why don't people get tested? Why don't people get treated? And they came up with these 5 tenets, these 5 sort of things from the research. And one of them was what they call perceived susceptibility. Essentially, people don't think it's going to happen to them. If you don't perceive that you are susceptible to something, then why would you go
do anything to prevent it? Right.
Why would you go take isoniazid, which was one of the medicines that we gave back then that could have some side effects, if you didn't think that it was going to harm you? And so that just in of itself, when people start thinking about themselves, like, I'm good. First of all, I'm saying this because it's the right thing to say. Like, oh, I'm good. And if I get it, it's okay. But really, they don't think that they're going to get it, right? They don't. Nobody's really trying to. They don't have a death wish like that. And this is not to make light of people who are actually sort of suicidal and have ideations. But the point is, most people are walking around not with the idea that they could die and they don't care. Right. Most people want to live, but they don't think it's going to happen to them. Number one. Number two, the jump has not been made. And the jump has not been made because we haven't had enough of the conversation you and I just had about you will actually kill somebody. Down the line of passing the virus, somebody who you passed it to from you will die. Mm-hmm. That is crystal clear. It's the only way that people will continue to die if somebody didn't pass it. Right. It's the only way.
That's right.
That's fact, period. Nobody's making that up. And I think if enough people said, this is a time where no matter what color you are, no matter how much money you have, if you can't see that we are literally in this together, try to put your kid in school. I don't care how much money you have. If you have a 11-year-old kid, you want your kid to go to school. Whether you
got a 3-year-old kid, you want your kid to go to school.
I'm just saying, everybody has their kid. I'm using the example of, if you haven't figured out that we're all in this together,
right?
Go put your kid in school right now.
Right.
Go walk your kid, take them into the class. Go ahead, right? Let me see who's there. Who is in there?
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
Okay? And I really don't recommend that people send their kids to school right now. With that being said, until we get to that point where we say, you know what? First of all, I can have it. I am susceptible. But I just don't want to kill anybody today.
And that's the statement. I'm susceptible, but I'm not in the business of killing people today.
There it is.
That is what needs to be printed.
And understand, I was still living at home with my parents, and it's funny because people are like, oh, when are we going out? I was like, no, my parents have a 12 o'clock curfew for me. I will come out with you, but I will be back home. And so even having gone to law school.
Your parents and you're 26, you're a grown woman. And
that did not bother me at all. Right, that did not. Right, and it didn't bother me.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Dude, when I left college, when I left high school, you couldn't have paid me to go back and live in my mom's house because I wasn't abiding by any curfew. I'm grown. I got my own bills. Like, I'm about to come and you tell me what to do some more. Like, you spent 18 years for me, whatever you wanted in me, lady.
Right.
Your time is up.
Oh no. And my dad was like, oh, and we'll build onto the house when you all get older so you all can come back. I was like, okay, I'm good with that.
Oh my gosh.
Right, yeah, no.
Yeah. Something's not right with her. This is everything but normal. This is.
No, yay for the family, yay.
So you're at home and your parents are like, great, just go to work home, we got you.
Right.
But so at what point did you say, okay, it's really time for me to go out? You hit the DA's
So when
office.
I was an assistant DA down in Newton County, it was a pay cut from having worked at the firm. But remember, I'm just looking for experiences. And so I'm perfectly okay with changing
No, wait,
jobs.
were your parents paying all the bills and everything too?
So I didn't really have any bills.
You didn't have to pay to like stay at home or like anything towards rent or lights or?
Whose parents are these? No. No, there was no rush and I got a meal in the morning and a meal at night. No. Oh my gosh. And the great thing about the love of my parents, when I was finally like, so our neighbor across the street moved and my mom and dad were like, oh, we're going to buy that house. You can live there. I was like, okay, let's do that. Yeah. So, right, they bought the house, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. This is awesome. But that didn't last long, because I was like, as an assistant district attorney, you don't make a lot of money, and I felt bad.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I feel really bad. Like, your house is paid off, but you're paying for this house for me, and there's not a way that I can actually afford this bill.
Right.
Like, if something were to happen to you all, I couldn't afford this bill. So I was like, let's sell it. But that just meant I moved back in with them. So that really, again, was not a problem.
But that is awesome, though. That's cool that you were able to kind of do that and take your time, and especially in that field, right?
Right, exactly. And it gave me the opportunity to change jobs pretty much like every 2 years, every 3 years.
And you got tons
of
great
experience. So I got lots of different experience in a lot of different places. And I always knew that if somebody said, I don't want you here today, I don't want you here tomorrow, I'd be like, okay.
No problem.
I don't want to be here. That works for all of us.
Which is interesting because you cut your teeth in Newton County.
Well, I cut my teeth in
at the first firm.
Right.
But I mean, your second job was at Newton County, right? I mean, I would imagine that's, Newton County is different than Fulton County.
So my parents are from Mississippi. So for me, Newton County was like walking back into where my grandparents were from. And so it was fine. Like I understood where I was. I understood the people there. The people were happy so obviously the people of color were like, oh my God, we've got a black ADA.
Right.
The officers were like, is there a black ADA? Did y'all see her? And so
they're like, producer, we don't believe she is this. What was the toughest case, do you remember? What was the most memorable, let me ask this, what was the most memorable time when you were at Newton County?
In Newton County, I had the joy and pleasure of being an assistant district attorney, and I was assigned, so there were 3 of us. I was assigned to a superior court rotation as well as a juvenile court rotation. This was really my first time seeing people do really horrible things to each other. And one of the cases that I was given was in juvenile court, and it was a boy that was alleged to have molested his sisters. The parents had to put alarms on the boy's door at night, alarms on the girl's door, just to keep the family safe. And it was just a twist in what it is that I thought families were about.
Yeah.
And for me, that was my first look at like kids in like deep crisis.
Right.
And the family wanted the best for the little boy. This was the mother and father's child. They wanted to make sure he was safe, but there was just some pathology in him that did not allow the other children in the home to be safe.
Yeah.
And for me, that was a really hard, like I couldn't have imagined a place where as a young girl, you were not safe in a home just because your brother was there.
Right.
And that's kind of what we talked through and worked through. And he eventually took a plea and was sent to a place where he could be helped with those very special issues. But for me, I was like, wow, I guess that's why we're here, for the victims of those crimes. But that was not something I would have expected, and particularly not from what you would consider a small town or a small city.
Right.
But those things happen all over.
All the time, I know. And it's sickening and sad.
And then what you're going to do, I'm going to let you do the second one.
Okay.
You just kind of want to lightly and gently, because this is a delicate fish.
Right.
Turn it at the other 90-degree angle. Boom. And that's going to make your diamond mark.
Gotcha.
So what you want to do once again, here.
So I want to cheat first,
You're going to cheat first. You're going to lift it up. Don't lift. Put the spatula underneath the tail so the tail doesn't come out because it's delicate.
Gotcha.
And you just want to be able to look at it a little bit. And you already know that one has the mark. See, you have to pull the tail off.
Okay, I know. That's what
I said delicate.
I know. I don't know how to be delicate. I'm very rough. Okay, so now.
So now you want to go lightly, gently under there. Yep. And then pick it up. And then you want to turn.
I'm so nervous.
Boom. There you go. And that's going to give us our wonderful, beautiful diamond mark.
Wow, I did it. I did it, Mom.
Good job, friend.
Thanks, friend. Okay, there's that. I was going to ask you something about this. Whoa.
Yeah, this is a Viking's kitchen.
Hey,
Lights Out TV.
a little warning, maybe?
BTUs,
Michelle, your eyebrows
Hey,
are
Devo, what are the BTUs?
Jeez, oh, Pete, I literally almost scorched my eyebrows off.
You know, welcome to the kitchen.
I do have
if you can't stand the heat,
get out of the kitchen or the galley.
We always drop the Marines off and we left and we're like, bye, guys.
So, oh, really? So you guys actually transport the...
Yeah, the USS Abraham Lincoln was an aircraft carrier, and we actually transported Marines to war zones by 3,000, 4,000.
After they had a good lunch.
After they had a good lunch and they were ready. Yeah.
21 years you were in, and so at what point did you decide to get out?
When I found the chefing career.
You were like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm supposed to do, and it's time for me to go. And I can get paid for the rest of my life for nothing.
Right,
Not
because you
actually
did because you got honorably discharged, right? And so you're a vet now. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for keeping us safe on the water. What's one of the craziest places you've been?
I'd probably say I think I like the not really crazy, but I think I would say like Bahrain.
Now, where is that? Is that Middle East?
Yes. See,
Just a wild guess.
Just a wild guess. It sounded like it was the Middle East.
It did. Yeah, it did.
So now you're using the cheat code.
Well, hey, listen, that's what why recreate the wheel?
Don't have to, right?
Don't have to, right?
Gotcha.
Hey, this is what I was going to ask you. One of the secrets, I think, and you can confirm this, with fish, when you grill fish on the grill, like the grill needs to be really oiled, and the fish need to be oily too, or right, or part of the marinade. Yeah.
So
because that'll keep it from sticking, right?
Correct.
Got it. Because a lot of people, when they grill fish, they'll
See
call
that? Look at that.
I did that.
That one's yours.
I did that all by myself.
That's beautiful.
But people will say, like, how do I keep the fish from sticking? And I'll be like, you got to make sure the grill is really oiled. And I put oil in my marinade too, like olive oil and that, just to add extra oil.
But you also don't want to burn it either.
Because the oil will make it, oh God.
Right.
So there's like a delicate balance between that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, cool, got it. So Bahrain, why did you find Bahrain so interesting?
Really, because I was well traveled when I was a youngster.
Yeah.
But just growing up, it was one of those places where it's like there are certain things I've never seen before.
Right.
So I think that was pretty much the gist of it, was that I have never seen culture in that format, I would say.
What religion are they over there?
I couldn't even tell you, honestly.
Oh, that's still gonna be pretty. Got you. So
now you see how the butter's already browning.
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted to get the nice crust on there, and definitely didn't want it to really decolorize what we're looking for, because we still wanted to be elegant and pleasant.
I feel like I want to put this between two pieces of brioche.
See, now we're talking.
With a little chipotle mayo, because you already have chipotle mayo in there. Chipotle mayo drizzle. That'd be so good. So, all right, so okay, chefing is your thing. This is what I'm put on this earth to do.
Correct.
So you come out, how do you start cooking? Because you cook for some really cool people, and you're still cooking for really cool people. Correct. How did you enter the space where you got, an opportunity to get in these, all these cool places?
There was actually a restaurant in Buckhead that I helped start, which was Season 52.
You helped start Season 52?
Yeah, they actually sent me to a little bit of culinary art school down in Florida, things of that nature.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? So. Everybody knows Season 52. They have like the 50 calorie desserts.
Right, absolutely. And and it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And there was a couple of people that I met that came there that were celebrities that were well known. And yeah, there it was.
So did you you're like, hey, if y'all like the cooking, call me.
No, actually, they asked who the chef was. and it was me. And next thing you know, we're actually going into adventures of opening restaurants and things of that nature, and we had fun with it.
So how many restaurants have you opened now?
I would say it would be 3 that was a part of.
And so what's your favorite thing to cook? Can I taste a piece of this?
Absolutely not right now.
Okay, good.
But you can squeeze some lemon on it.
Okay, well, I'll take what I can get, I guess.
And then don't, because you have seeds in it, so you actually want to put the hand underneath
okay.
it. There you go. And I'm a real citrusy guy. I like flavors. Right?
Yes.
So we're gonna do lemon and lime.
Okay.
How do you think about that?
I think it's great.
And I actually already kind of roasted them, so you get that real natural flavors.
So what's so that's why you roast.
Right,
roast
you want a nice real. Yeah, how's that herbal essence? You wanna get that.
Shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, hey. I mean, it is what it is.
Herbal essence.
It still sounds good, right?
It does.
So while we're doing that, we're going to do that because what it's going to do is give a reduction of the lemon and lime, and once you put it in the oven, you'll get those nice flavors, those bold flavors. So when you take that first bite, it'll be amazing.
Got you.
So if you want to start skewering the shrimp,
oh yeah, I can do that.
We'll throw them on the grill.
Oh yay! Okay, that sounds fun. In the spirit of wrapping things up, I'm super excited to go out with a bang today and have literally one of my favorite people in the whole wide world here, Dr. Rashad Richey, who is a national political commentator, radio personality. You've heard him on WAOK and B103. You've seen him on Fox News and MSNBC and right here in Atlanta on Channel 46. You've seen him everywhere. You've seen him on billboards. Is there anywhere we haven't seen you, Dr. Richey? Guys, super excited. Please welcome in studio today, Dr. Rashad Richey. And the crowd goes wild.
I'm gonna give myself a round of applause because with COVID-19, we don't have a real audience.
That's right.
But I want to say congratulations to you for 2 things.
Oh.
One, for having such an amazing show and for being picked up a 2nd season.
Hey.
Your work has definitely paid off. You deserve it. And number 2, congratulations for saving the best for last, and that's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing like bringing that thing full circle.
That's
friends.
right. You got to be commended for both.
Nothing like I thought I was going to be awarded both of the congratulations, and
You were.
Right. Oh, right.
We sharing the credit a little bit.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I see what you did there. It's
what I
amazing.
did?
There's no reason.
Still kind of made it about me.
It's very clear you are where you are today, Dr. Richey. It's very clear. But seriously, I should say congratulations to you. I know COVID-19 2020 has been a crazy year for a lot of people, but you've been killing the game this year.
You know, I'm thankful to God. The world is about adaptation,
Yeah.
right? And I tell my college students this all the time because I had a lot of students at the university who were depressed. They were afraid. They were losing their jobs, losing their income, and some of them were losing their minds. And I had to talk to one of my classes, right, because it had got so surreal for a few of them. I said, I want you to think about this. No money has left the planet.
Right.
So when you hear that the economy is being destroyed, I want you to understand this. No money has left the planet. The same money that was here before COVID-19
It's still here.
is here during COVID-19.
Absolutely.
So when you have that perspective, you then realize that all you have to do is adjust and adapt to make sure you're in the new flow of money. Now, when they say the economy is being destroyed, Michelle, that really means that their economy is being destroyed. The economy as they know it is being destroyed, right? So there's a massive transfer of wealth happening on the planet Earth right now, okay? And for us, who are small business people, we're entrepreneurs, we're creatives, we understand how to adapt to the marketplace, we can adjust to this, but we believe we can. And a lot of our ability to actually survive and be successful in markets that are variable is our believing in us. You know, by the grace of God, I've come from a dark place to a place of light. I was a foster kid. I was a foster kid, 10 and 11 years old, went through street life, Glenwood Road and everything around it. Became a gang member by the age of 12. Started going in and out of juvenile for all kinds of crimes, right? And that experience robbed me of a childhood. So I became an adult in a sense without the maturity of an adult.
Right.
At 17, I was arrested at 17. Now, I assumed I was going to juvenile like any other time I got arrested in my teenage years. And as I'm riding in this police cruiser, it's a DeKalb County cop, he's going the wrong way. I said, wait a minute, brother. The juvenile detention, it was Pampersville.
You're like, I know this way.
I said, you're going the wrong way. Juvenile is this way. And it was so crazy because I had relationships with people that worked at juvenile. It was like my second home. I called the social worker auntie, okay? He says to me, young man, if you're going to break the law, you need to learn it. Georgia has a new law that makes you an adult at 17. Wow. And I remember, Michelle, it was like my soul was ripped out my body.
Right.
Right? And he's taking me to real jail. I had never been to real jail
and you
before.
weren't even thinking, you're like, I can do this time. I've done this.
Right.
I'm in and out of here, no problem.
No problem.
And I'll be out and on my way.
Not this time.
So this is a pivotal moment for you.
It's a pivotal moment. I get inside of this jail. I'm processed in. It takes about a week to even get what they call upstairs, where you're processed into your cell. And I'm wild. I'm wild from go. I ran into somebody from my old neighborhood named Psycho.
His name is Psycho.
His name was Psycho. We never knew his real name, all right? So I run into this cat. I'm just happy to see somebody I know, all right? I completely forgot that we were incarcerated, and I went and I hugged this brother. And he hugged me back.
And there's like this kinship.
Right, it absolutely was.
Right.
And I said, Psycho, I'm so glad to see somebody I know up in here. And Psycho pushed me away, and this brother said, don't you ever call me that again. He said, my name is Ronnie Purvis. Now, we never knew his real name. I absolutely didn't think it was Ronnie. All right. So after that moment, I started to question what's going on with him. That's when he informs me that he was a born again Christian, that he had changed his life inside of that jail. And my retort back to him was, as soon as you get out of here, man, you're going to go back to the same home. All right. And he looked at me and he said, Rashad, I'm in here for murder. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Wow.
And I watched his life, Michelle. Inside of this jail, I watched this man go to Bible study. I watched this man lead prayer. I watched this man read scripture. I watched him lead other people to Christ. Now, this was a cat I had a lot of street respect for.
Sure.
Right? He was the real deal. But it wasn't that changed me. It was when I saw Ronnie walk away from a fight that I knew he could win.
In jail.
In jail. When he walked away from that fight, him walking away transformed something in me. And I wanted to know more about his faith. And so we started reading scripture together. We started going to church together inside of this jail. And inside of this period of incarceration, I was incarcerated for an entire year. I accepted Christ in my heart there, right? Nobody on the outside knows I've changed my life.
Right.
I can't get anybody to take my collect calls. I got a $22,000 bond that nobody in their right mind would pay for a cat like me, right? But I'm changed.
So let me ask you this, Rashad, because you said what really changed you is when you saw him walk away from a fight. Did that change you because you were yourself a fighter and you felt like, you said you knew he could win it, but was that something in you because you felt like you're a fighter and you're going in, and it was to see somebody maybe akin to you not act like you would have, or react like you would have reacted?
I had never seen that kind of demonstration of true strength. At this point, I've heard the phrase, the bigger man walks away. The stronger man walks away. Never believed it.
Right.
Never understood it.
That's what people say. Just
right.
Yeah.
And absolutely never saw it demonstrated. I always saw the weaker man walk away. And let me explain that. The person that I knew couldn't win the fight can walk away easy. Right. Right. This was a cat I knew could win that fight. And he walked away. He humbled himself. And that did something to me. On Christmas Eve, Michelle, the guard yelled on the loudspeaker, Richie, pack it up. And back then, guards used to play with you on holidays. And everybody said, leave this kid alone. Why are you messing with him on Christmas Eve? And the guard said, no, somebody actually paid his bond.
Wow.
I had no idea who did it. So as I'm being processed out of this place I've been at for a year, I'm asking everybody, who did this? When I come outside of this jail, a woman named Abernita Powell had bailed me out. She was one of my foster moms. And she heard I was in jail, and she said God wouldn't let her sleep until she bailed me out.
God was working on both of y'all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got out, became a youth minister. Took my GED, got into college.
18, 19?
Yeah, I was 18 at this point.
Yep.
Got into college. Now, you know the story now. I got 2 PhDs and college professor.
I know the story, but they don't.
Yeah.
So tell us the story, right? So you come out, become a youth minister.
Yep, in a United Methodist Church, became a youth minister pretty quickly. Got directly involved in changing lives because I knew what a changed life looked like. And even law firms, because of my ability to connect with individuals, understand policy, write policy, break it down, and to convince individuals what good policy actually is.
So at what point did you realize that politics was an avenue for you, right? Because you were in your early 30s when you were chosen to lead this Democratic effort, right?
Yeah, I was. And I actually started working in Democratic politics in my 20s.
How did that happen?
You know, that was an interesting situation. At that time, I was director of education for a private school, and I was 25 years old. But that was me being director of education at this institution was a great thing, but it wasn't the best fit for me. I was young. I was in an executive position. There was some learning I still had to do, right? Because of that, an opportunity opened up at the Democratic Party. I had no real intention of being a political guy. I just wanted a job. I wanted a job that paid okay, right? So I ended up applying for this job. We had an inside connection, somebody that knew me, and I kind of worked around politics as a leader and as a youth minister, right? You always are kind of working around and in politics.
Sure.
And I got the job.
Yeah, so you're like the political Howard Stern, right? Howard Stern let everybody have it. He didn't care who you were, color, race, creed, whatever. And you're kind of the same way. You call everybody out.
Yeah, I say all the time, I stopped being a Democrat the day they stopped signing my paycheck. All right. When you get inundated in that system, you get indoctrinated. You become tribal. I'm thankful to God that I can call balls, strikes, period. Right. Yeah, both political parties are on that bull sometimes, and they need to be held accountable to an agenda rather than just a party platform. And so that's the premise for anything I say that may be disparaging or critical of party leadership.
So how are you using your vehicles right now? Because I know, of course, you're on the radio with V103 and WAOK, and you're chief editor of Rolling Out magazine, right? And so you're in spaces that really aren't perceived as political, but you're a political pundit. You're in that political space. So is it hard to kind of, be political sometimes and not the others? Or, how are you finding ways to weave it all in together?
Let me tell you something. It's all an expression of me. I'm genuinely a political cat. I'm genuinely a cat that listens to trap music, so I'm good on that. I'm this person, right? And what happens is that typically, especially when you are a black male or black female, they want blackness to be very singular and understood, right? But we're multifaceted. We're multidimensional. I'm equal parts scholar as I am political analyst, as I am radio personality, as I am television commentator, right? And I love all of it. And the number one question that I get, Michelle, is how do you do all of it? And I don't see it as all of it. I don't see what I do as different jobs. I see it as the same job in different platforms.
I'm gonna switch gears on you. Who's winning the election?
All right, so if the election were held today, you obviously the presidential, right? Right. If the election were held today, but it's not, but if it was held today, I predict that the Biden-Harris ticket would win, and they would win close to a record electoral college victory and popular vote victory. It will be a massive, or would be a massive victory for Biden-Harris. But things can change.
Why do you say they would win today?
Well, a few variables that I look at as a political analyst. One, the last midterm elections. Trump was not on the ballot, but he was on the ballot. What happened in the last midterm elections? You had a record number of voters without it being a presidential cycle. That excitement didn't come from the right. That excitement came from progressives and moderate voters. What happened in that midterm election? You now have a record number of black females serving. More black females are serving in the U.S. Congress than in the history of this nation. You have more young people serving in the U.S. Congress than in the history of this nation. You elected the youngest person to Congress in the history of this nation last cycle. And you have more members of the LGBTQ community serving than in the history of this nation. All of that was a direct indictment on the leadership of Donald J. Trump. So you have to ask yourself a question. In the 2 years that he has had since the midterm elections, has he gotten more popular or less? Because we have a data set. Your data set is your midterm election. Has he gotten more popular or less popular since 2 years ago? And their answer is less popular. All right. Now, what else do you have? Polling data. Polls are not predictions, but they're snapshots. Here's what Joe Biden has been able to do. And I know people are going to probably inbox me about this statement. Nobody is really excited about Joe Biden, right? People don't like, I'm with Joe, and because he excites me. He doesn't excite the Democratic base. He doesn't excite moderate voters.
Sure.
You know who excites people to vote? Trump. Trump excites people to vote against him.
That's right.
All right? Trump has excited the electorate in a way that we have not seen in modern history. All Joe Biden has to do is just show up on election day. Now, I've said this on air. I've said this on radio and television, so I'm cool with saying it here. Joe Biden needs to just be quiet until election day. If they can figure out how to keep him quiet until election day, he wins this with no problem.
Some people say the same thing about Trump.
But he's not going to do it. Like he's, you know, we used to have a thing in the hood called self-check when you play basketball, right? Where you didn't have to guard the person because they were so bad at basketball that they weren't going to score a shot anyway, right? So we call it self-check. So Trump is the ultimate self-check, right? He is ruining his own campaign. So that's part of it. And here's the other. Joe Biden is well outside of the margin of error for all 19 swing states. The man is leading in double digits in some of the swing states. Why is that important? Hillary Clinton never led by double digits in any swing state at any time she ran for president. Never. Here's some other variables. Joe Biden, when he was running in the primary, you know, he got more black votes in South Carolina than even President Obama. So why is that? Because black people love Joe? No. When Joe ran for president the first time, he got less than 1% of the black vote. Now he's getting more black vote in the Democratic primary than Barack Obama. Wow. Right? What does that say? That says there's an excitement against the incumbent. That's what that says. All those variables together, in my opinion as an analyst, will create an electoral college victory like we have not seen in modern history.
And there you have it. But the election's not going to happen today.
It's not today. It's not today.
We got 2 more months.
Yeah,
so
that could be a lifetime in politics.
It really could. I got to say thank you so much, Rashad.
Thank you. Michelle, I'm so proud of you. Sister, you are genuine. You're an authentic soul. I'm so blessed to see good people winning. You are a good person. A lot of bad people look like they winning too. I can't stand it. But I love it when I see good people winning.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And that means a lot coming from you, right? This is your space. So if you say I'm doing well, then I got to be doing well. But thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Yes. Thank you for spending time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And tell everybody how they can find you, Rashad.
A few ways. So you can always check me out on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. The Rashad Richey Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can also listen online at WAOK.com or the radio.com app. I'm the political and social commentator for the People Station V103. CBS 46 News, political analyst. And catch me on MSNBC as I give you my political breakdown.
Guys, I would never want to read a bio on this guy. I definitely want to introduce him. We'd never get to the main event, I don't think. Yeah. Again, thank you so much. And thank you again. We did it. We just closed out show number 10. I have no idea when the second season is coming, but I promise you it is. Of course, thank you so much to everybody who has made this first season amazing, and especially Eleanor's Place, where this has been our home really for the last 5 or so episodes. But until next season, thank you, and I'll see you soon. In the hustle of life, sometimes we forget what's important. Sometimes we need to think like children. They understand it's the simple things in life that bring joy. Maybe it's connecting with an old friend and sharing grand stories. Yes, business is important, but it's connection that builds a community. Maybe it's time to catch a movie with a loved one and get reacquainted with what's truly important. This is the spirit of the city of South Fulton, where families experience that more lives here